Welcome back to the channel. My name is Thomas Fletcher and I'm the host of the LCSW network. If you're new to the channel, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, by subscribing to the channel, and by sharing this video with your social work colleagues and friends. The purpose of this channel is to create a community of hope and support where social workers can come for relevant news, information, and inspiration. Well, welcome back to Self-Care Saturday. Welcome back to our 2021 Wellness Challenge series. In today's show, we will be talking about week 17's topic of mindset. But before we do that, let's just recap where we've gone for the first 16 weeks of our 2021 Wellness Challenge. In week 1, we covered developing an early warning sign action plan. In week 2, we talked about using positive self-affirmations for our self-care practices. In week 3, we talked about the benefits of using audiobooks as a self-care practice. In week 4, we talked about the benefits of cycling. In week 5, we talked about the benefits of connecting with nature. In week 6, we talked about the self-care benefits of walking. In week 7, we talked about the importance and the benefits of sleep. In week 8, we talked about the importance and the benefits of annual health exams. In week 9, we talked about the benefits of hobbies and active leisure time. In week 10, we talked about the benefits of visual arts. In week 11, we talked about the importance of maintaining friendships as a self-care practice. In week 12, we talked about the benefits of music. Week 13, we talked about the benefits of water and staying hydrated. In week 14, we talked about the benefits of food journaling. In week 15, we talked about the importance of reconnecting with our purpose. In week 16, we talked about paying yourself first. And today, in week 17, we will be talking about mindset. Yes, we will be talking about the importance of cultivating the mindset, which is sometimes referred to as growth mindset, and it's also sometimes referred to as abundance mindset. So, this is not going to be a long lecture. But again, you can think of this as continuing education. So there's a Stanford University professor who first discovered what we now call mindset, and her name is Carol Dweck. And basically, she defines mindset, or she, in her studies and her research, she found that mindset is the aspect of intelligence either being fixed or changeable. Fixed or changeable. As I was preparing for this talk, I also looked at the definition of mindset, in Oxford and Cambridge, and they talk about beliefs and attitudes about intelligence, or beliefs and attitudes about how we think, right? So, and I think this is important for us as social workers, as mental health professionals, especially in the context. I am recording this video in the late end of March 2021, and this video will air in April 2021. So we've gone over a year of this global pandemic. And this global pandemic over the past year has caused so much stress, caused so much economic devastation, loss of life, businesses closed, jobs lost, people, evicted or falling behind on their mortgages and not being able to pay their rent, food insecurity, housing insecurity, all these things, right? And our workload as mental health professionals, as LCSWs, as psychologists, MFTs, is gone up through the roof, right? The demand is is off the charts, right? And many of us are working long, way longer than 40 hours a week. Many of us are working 50 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours, 80 hours, right? And we're all checking ourselves for burnout. We're all checking ourselves for compassion fatigue. I know I have been over the past year. Between my civilian position in the Department of Veterans Affairs and in my uniformed role in the California Army National Guard. It's been nonstop. You know, but I think what has helped me over the last year has been developing and cultivating a growth mindset, an abundance mindset. You know, just embracing, something that I've always held myself up to be a lifelong learner, and I think that's an important aspect of cultivating a growth mindset. We never stop learning, and I know I'm preaching to the choir because as licensed professionals, we are all required to keep up on our continuing education. 36 hours every 2 years for LCSWs, and it's pretty much the same for other licensed professionals, right? So we know that we have to continue growing our professional capabilities as professionals. But I think it's also important that we carry that over into our personal lives as well. It's very easy to get stagnant and get into our routines. And I have a mentor. Shout out to one of my mentors. His name is Dreamer. He also works at the VA, the West Los Angeles VA campus. And he's a wise man. I respect him and I love him a lot. And I remember years ago he told me, he said, "Tom, make sure you break your routines." He said, if you brush your teeth with your right hand every day, switch it up. Sometimes use your left hand. Just try to change up your routines. And for years, I didn't understand what he was trying to tell me, but I understand it now. He's been telling me all these years to keep growing, to keep learning. Don't get comfortable, in the status quo, and that's, and we do, we do get comfort, and we do get stagnant in our comfort zone, but that's a fixed mindset. That's a fixed mindset. Here's another example of a fixed mindset. Another example of a fixed mindset is that if I fail at something, I'm not going to try it again. No. When we fail, that's an opportunity to learn from what went wrong. A few years ago, I read the biography of Thomas Edison. And he talks about when he's developing the light bulb, that the 15,000 times that he failed before he finally figured out the right formula for that light bulb that went on to change the world, that was 15,000 ways of not making the right type of light bulb. Right? So we have to use that same growth mindset, and we can. I think many of us are struggling with compassion fatigue and burnout, and we have to look for creative ways. Whether that's, if our, especially those of us in private practice, if our workloads are so heavy, rather than staying in the fixed mindset that we have to do it all ourselves, maybe we need to start hiring associates. If our workload in our private practices is so heavy that we can't do it all, if we adopt a growth mindset, we're going to say, hey, I need to start hiring some associates. I need to start hiring some interns. I need to start hiring some people that are that need to get their license and they need their hours, you know, and I can supervise them for their hours, and they can, you know, they can lighten this burden for me, right? I know I've done that for myself, not in a private practice, but in my workload, you know, at the VA. For the last 4 or 5 years, I have, and looking back, you know, I went from the fixed mindset of I got all this work and I got nobody to help me, and my bosses and my supervisors, they don't really seem to either understand or care. And I went from that fixed mindset to, all right, I'm going to start training some interns, you know, that are coming through in their second year of their MSW, and I'm going to start training them and supervising them, and you know, they will get an opportunity to learn about all these different departments in the VA, and I will get some help. I will get some support, and you know what, guys? It's been transformative for me. I've gone from the compassion fatigue and from the burnout zone to this state of growth, of appreciation, of abundance, you know, because as a field instructor, I get to teach these interns, and God, I learned so much from them. And I tell them that I'm a lifelong learner, and I tell them, tell me what you're learning in your classes now. You know, I want you to bring the theories that you're learning in school now. I want you to bring it and apply it into the field. You know, and we talk about what they're learning in their classes during our individual supervision meetings. So that's a great example of growth mindset. You know, years ago, I had to stop complaining about how much work I had and how little support I was getting. And I had to be creative, and I had to look for opportunities, and that's what I did. And when I was able to have an opportunity to start training and supervising and instructing MSW interns, it was a game changer. At that point I went from the fixed mindset of I got all this work and there's not enough time and enough hours, to now I love it, you know, and I it amazes me, no disrespect to my colleagues that turn down supervising and training interns, no disrespect to them, but I see when I hear them say I can't take any interns because it's too much work, that's a fixed mindset, that's a scarcity mindset. Yes, I take my responsibilities for training and supervising and teaching my interns very seriously, but I don't see them as a burden. I see my opportunity to train and teach them and supervise them as abundance. God, they bring so much energy and knowledge in their questions and their curiosity, and you know, and they help with the workload, you know, because they have to get that experience before they go out into the workforce, you know. So that's just, you know, for me, that's a great example of going from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset. And I think it's so important for us as social workers that we adopt and that we practice this growth mindset, this abundance mindset. You know, I think for myself, it's been sustaining me, you know, over these last 25 plus years in the field. So that's our wellness challenge for week 17, guys. Let's adopt or enhance our growth mindset, because I know many of us have it, right? So I know I'm preaching to the choir. So if you are already working with a growth mindset, kudos to you, and let me know about that. And if you're not, again, no disrespect, but again, the purpose of this channel, and you know, and one of the points that I saw in one of the articles that I was reviewing is that getting inspired by the success of others is one way to cultivate a growth mindset. And you know, that's very reaffirming to me, because that's one of the purposes of both of my channels, to inspire, to inspire my fellow social workers. And I'll be very honest, to inspire myself as well, you know, because I need all the inspiration I get. So if I can inspire myself by making these videos, at least I know I'm inspiring one person, right? So I know I went a little bit long here, but I want to thank you all for watching this video. For all the social workers out there, thank you for the work that you do every day for your clients, for your agency, and for the profession. Please continue to support each other and yourselves. Bye for now.